From threatening to leak a supposed SEX tape, to fueling conspiracy theories about Juice WRLD's death, to selling his clothes on OnlyFans, Ally Lotti didn't just cross a line. She took the line, erased it, and drew her own. Juice WRLD gave her everything. He gave her a lifestyle she'd never likely be able to live on her own. And how did she repay him? By turning his legacy into a cash cow. It's beyond disrespectful and it's exploitative. Ally Lotti's behavior impacted more than just the memory of Juice WRLD. It casted a shadow over the positive legacy he was trying to build and deeply affected those who loved and supported him. It affected his fans, his family, and everyone who looked up to him. In this video, I want to go over the insane behavior Ally exuded after Juice WRLD's passing. The kind of actions that left fans questioning her true motives and wondering how someone so close to him could have showed such little respect. For anyone who's not familiar with the name, Ally Lotti is a 30-year-old woman who gained fame primarily through a relationship with the late rapper Juice WRLD. Unlike others who might honor a loved one's memory quietly, Ally has taken a very public and frankly troubling approach. She's become known not for her own accomplishments, but for her consistent and often exploitative use of Juice WRLD's legacy, sadly to keep herself relevant. Since his tragic passing, Ally's behavior has raised countless eyebrows, leaving fans to wonder about her intentions. Rather than moving on respectfully, she capitalized on his name in ways that have ranged from controversial to outright offensive, causing immense frustration among Juice fans and deep emotional pain for his family and friends. Whether it's creating scandalous narratives, selling his personal items, or promoting wild conspiracy theories, Ally's actions have made it clear that her attachment to Juice's legacy is anything but respectful. Each move she made seemed to generate attention, leaving fans to question where her love for Juice ends and where her desire for clout began. Ally managed to turn every piece of her connection to Juice WRLD into a potential moneymaker, pulling in OnlyFans subscribers, selling merchandise, and pushing controversial narratives, all while riding the wave of his fame and devoted fanbase. For her, it seems that no boundary was too far, and no memory was too sacred. She's profited off of Juice WRLD's memory in ways that go beyond normal grieving, showing a ridiculous disregard for the man she once claimed to love. She simply managed to turn her relationship with him into a brand, and it's not a brand rooted in respect or tribute, it's one built on drama, sensationalism, and dollar signs. This isn't just a story of grief gone wrong, it's a case study in exploitation and how someone's memory can be turned into a twisted form of self-promotion. Ally Lotti and Juice WRLD's story began like a modern-day romance in the digital age through Instagram. In 2018, Ally slid into Juice WRLD's DMs, starting with a simple message that said, "Good music. Keep it up, kid." Juice WRLD, who was rapidly rising to fame at that point, took notice, and her message sparked an ongoing conversation that eventually led to their first meeting. A few months after that first message, while Juice was on tour, they decided to meet in person in Rhode Island. According to Ally, they spent the next 4 days together, and it was during this time that their connection deepened. For Juice, who was just beginning to experience the pressures of fame, Ally seemed like a supportive figure, someone who could provide companionship and an escape from the intensity of his career. As their relationship progressed, Juice WRLD and Ally became almost inseparable. And with that closeness came an increasingly complex and, at times, toxic dynamic. Ally was there through many of Juice's highs and lows, accompanying him on tours, studio sessions, and appearances, all while sharing his intense lifestyle. Juice was known for being open about his struggles with addiction, and he frequently relied on substances to cope with the pressures of fame, anxiety, and mental health battles. Ally, in return, was right there with him, not just as a companion, but as someone who actively indulged in this behavior. Together, Juice WRLD and Ally shared a lifestyle that included substance use, and unfortunately, that struggle became an undeniable part of their relationship. Though we may not know if Ally faced the same addiction battles as Juice, it's clear that the pressures and personal challenges they both experienced created an environment where dependency became deeply entangled in their bond. Instead of finding relief from their struggles, they found themselves caught up in a cycle that only drew them further into that lifestyle, where love and dependency became hard to separate. It's important to remember that addiction is a complex and consuming struggle, often clouding the best intentions of even the most caring people. In their case, substances became part of their relationship, a coping mechanism that, while perhaps providing temporary comfort, only strengthened the toxic elements that were pulling them down. For Juice, this dynamic may have blurred the lines between support and reinforcement, making it harder for him to confront his own demons. Those who knew Juice later reflected on how, although their relationship was filled with real affection, the shared lifestyle may have also magnified some of his worst habits. The heartbreaking reality is that, whether intentional or not, both Juice and Ally were caught up in something bigger than themselves, a cycle that, despite their love, ultimately led to deeper struggles. For fans, this was devastating to learn. What appeared on the surface as a loving, supportive relationship was, in reality, filled with a lot of darkness. Juice's music even alluded to this toxic side, with lyrics that painted a picture of inner turmoil, dependency, and love that couldn't truly save him. The sad truth was that their shared habits likely contributed to the mental and physical toll on Juice, and even though he cared deeply for Ally, the relationship didn't offer him the support he needed to overcome his personal demons. Instead, it seemed to feed into them. This combination of love and toxic dependency became one of the most tragic aspects of Juice's life. It's a story that adds another layer of heartbreak to his legacy, and as fans and loved ones are left wondering what might have been different if the relationship had been a source of strength rather than a reinforcement of his struggles. Juice WRLD, real name Jared Higgins, was a rising star known for his emotional transparency, opening up about struggles with addiction, anxiety, and mental health. His music resonated with fans worldwide who saw themselves in his lyrics. In December 2019, however, just days after his 21st birthday, Juice tragically passed away after an accidental overdose following a seizure at Chicago Midway Airport. The seizure was triggered as federal agents awaited his arrival, acting on a tip that the plane was carrying contraband. Ally was with him during this tragic event. His death shook fans, friends, and his family to the core. But while most mourned, Ally began to act differently. Her grieving didn't look like a partner devastated by loss.
You guys think he died from a drug overdose? You're wrong!
It looked like a reality show, one where she was both the protagonist and antagonist, doing whatever it took to stay relevant. Almost 3 years after Juice's death, in November 2022, rumors began circulating that Ally had moved on with a new boyfriend. Now, people generally weren't upset that she was dating someone new. That's natural, and everyone has the right to move on. But here's the thing. It wasn't the dating that sparked outrage. It was the disrespect. Ally's new boyfriend, allegedly only 18 at the time, posted a video on Instagram wearing a watch that Juice WRLD had gifted Ally. Not only that, he was also playing Juice's track Burn in the background, seemingly mocking the late rapper. Fans were outraged, and rightly so. That watch wasn't just a piece of jewelry, it was a symbol of their relationship, of the man Juice was. To see it on a random guy's wrist while he flexed it to Juice WRLD's own music felt like a violation, a spit in the face of Juice's legacy. Juice WRLD's fan base didn't stay silent. They flooded social media, expressing their anger and disbelief. Ally's response? Well, silence. She didn't issue an apology, didn't address the fans, nothing. Her indifference spoke volumes. A few days after the watch incident, Ally took to Instagram Live. The video was chaotic, with Ally appearing visibly erratic, and many fans commented on her unsettling behavior. And then came the bombshell. In a twist that felt like it was scripted for drama, Ally claimed that Juice WRLD hadn't died from an overdose, alluding to some hidden truth about his death.
You guys think he died from a drug overdose? You're wrong! You're wrong! Literally, you're wrong!
This wasn't just irresponsible, it was cruel. Juice fans, friends, and especially his family had been working through the grief, piercing together their lives in his absence. For Ally to come forward with conspiracy theories added insult to the injury. DJ Scheme, a close friend of Juice, even spoke out saying, "Sorry to the fans, y'all don't deserve this." Fans echoed the sentiment, frustrated not only by her words, but by the way she disregarded the emotional toll on everyone who loved Juice. At this point, we're seeing a pattern. Ally's not just grieving, she's manipulating. She's weaponizing Juice's death, dangling cryptic insider information to keep people interested in her. This wasn't about honoring his legacy, it was about making sure she stayed relevant. Fast forward to January 2023, and Ally hit a controversial and troubling low. Screenshots surfaced from her OnlyFans account, where she seemed to be promoting an alleged SEX tape featuring herself and Juice WRLD. Her pitch: "Hackers are trying to leak my old SEX tape with my ex-fiance. I don't care anymore, I'll leak it myself," Ally Lotti said. With that one statement, Juice WRLD's memory was reduced to content on her OnlyFans page, a painful exploitation of his legacy for clicks, subscriptions, and fast cash. It wasn't just disrespectful, it was an outright betrayal of trust and intimacy that was never meant to be monetized. Around the same time, Ally's life took another chaotic turn. She was arrested in Arkansas on charges of possession of methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, and drug paraphernalia, a shocking and serious development that further clouded her association with Juice WRLD's memory. This arrest added yet another layer to her public image, highlighting a potentially deeper level of struggle and desperation. For many fans and those who knew Juice, the news only solidified concerns about the path she was on, showing how far she'd strayed from the person who once stood by his side. As for the response to the OnlyFans content, fans were horrified. Rapper Denzel Curry and other figures within the hip-hop community spoke out, their disappointment and anger echoing the sentiments of Juice's devoted followers. Curry's tweet, "Let Juice WRLD rest, man," captured the anger and disbelief felt by those who had admired Juice, not only for his music, but for his openness and vulnerability. For Ally to capitalize on their private moments and then claim she was being threatened was, to many, a shameless exploitation, an excuse that failed to mask her true motives. The backlash was swift and intense. Fans flooded social media with expressions of heartbreak, betrayal, and disgust. To them, this wasn't just a tasteless move, it was a violation of trust. Juice WRLD had opened his life to his fans, and they, in turn, had embraced his music and his struggles as their own. To see someone so close to him degrade his memory in this way felt like a profound insult to everything Juice stood for. The timing of these actions, so close to her arrest, made Ally's motivation seem even more transparent. It was as though she was grasping at any remaining ties to Juice to maintain her relevance and generate income. The hip-hop community and Juice's fan base saw through it, and they called her out for crossing a line that should have never been crossed. For many, her actions symbolized the ultimate betrayal, not just of Juice's legacy, but of the fans who had loved and supported him through everything. The psychology here is complex. Ally's actions hint at desperation for attention, a craving for relevancy, even at the expense of someone she once loved. For someone whose only claim to fame is her association with Juice WRLD, her relevance is tied to his name, and she's shown she's willing to push any boundary to keep people talking. Then came March 2023, when screenshots from Ally's OnlyFans emerged once again. This time she was selling Juice WRLD's clothes, but this wasn't just some random garage sale. She listed high-value items such as custom tour merch, signature goggles, and even Supreme Louis Vuitton hoodies, items deeply personal to Juice's fans. Prices range from $1,300 to $3,000, and Ally said she needed to get rid of them fast. Lil Bibby reportedly bought certain items to keep them from being sold publicly. If that's true, it's pretty sad how people who were close to Juice WRLD had to protect his legacy from someone he once trusted. This isn't just a story of one woman's shameless actions. It's a case study in how some people react to fame and the intoxicating pull of attention. Ally's story feels like a never-ending tragedy, but not in the way you might think. This isn't the tragedy of a woman mourning her lover. It's a tragedy of a woman willing to sell her soul for quick profit and attention. Psychologically, we're seeing a blend of attention-seeking behavior and something even darker, emotional exploitation. Ally seems to understand that Juice's memory is very valuable, that every item, every memory is a commodity, and she monetized it all. This isn't just grieving out loud, it's transforming someone's legacy into a constant money machine. The actions of Ally Lotti unfortunately took a toll on Juice WRLD's fanbase. For Juice's fans, he was more than just a rapper. He was a symbol of vulnerability, someone who openly discussed addiction, mental health, and the weight of fame. Fans saw themselves in him, connected deeply with his lyrics, and mourned his death as if they lost a friend. To watch his memory twisted and manipulated by someone who once claimed to love him is heartbreaking. Juice's mother, Carmela Wallace, never publicly addressed Ally's actions, but it's hard not to imagine the profound sadness and disappointment she might have felt watching it all unfold. Carmela had poured her heart into building something positive from the tragedy of her son's passing. Through the Live Free 999 Foundation, she turned her grief into a mission of compassion, advocating for mental health, support, and addiction recovery, a cause that would honor Juice's struggles and uplift others facing similar battles. To see Ally, someone who once claimed to love her son, using his memory as a tool for personal gain must have felt like a gut-wrenching betrayal. As a mother, Carmela had already suffered from the unimaginable loss of her son, but witnessing his memory used in such self-serving ways might have deepened that pain, forcing her to endure fresh wounds in the wake of his passing. Each OnlyFans post, each scandalous rumor, each shameless attempt to profit off of his legacy likely left Carmela feeling helpless to shield her son's memory from exploitation, adding layers of heartache to her already heavy grief. While she's never spoken about Ally publicly, one can only assume the fierce sense of protectiveness she might have felt, the desire to preserve the beauty and integrity of Juice's legacy untainted by drama and disrespect. For a mother who has devoted herself to honoring her son in ways that truly mattered, Ally's actions must have felt like an insult to everything Carmela was trying to build, leaving her to silently shoulder a grief that seemed to grow with each public situation.
But it just happened so fast. It's like one day he was gone, so I didn't have time to prepare, that he's not gonna be here, because he went from high school to Juice WRLD.
Ally Lotti's actions following Juice WRLD's passing have left a painful mark on his legacy, one that goes far beyond typical public drama. Her behavior, a pattern of exploitation through OnlyFans promotions, conspiracy theories, and public stunts, has not only disappointed Juice's devoted fanbase, but has likely placed an unimaginable burden on his mother, Carmela Wallace. While Carmela has channeled her grief into something meaningful by being the founder of an organization to support mental health and addiction recovery in her son's honor, Ally's choices seem to reflect an unwillingness to let go of the attention his name brings her, even if it comes at the cost of his dignity. For fans who saw Juice as a vulnerable artist who opened up about his struggles to make others feel less alone, Ally's actions feel like a violation, a sad reminder of how fame can expose both the best and the worst in those left behind. In the end, this story highlights a stark contrast between Carmela's respectful preservation of her son's memory and Ally Lotti's controversial path. Will Ally Lotti ever change? That's a question only time can answer, but it's hard to ignore the patterns she's shown over the years. Changing would mean taking accountability, respecting Juice WRLD's legacy, and perhaps letting go of the attention she's gained through his name. True change would likely require deep self-reflection and a shift in values, moving away from clout-chasing behaviors towards something more meaningful. For many, that might seem unlikely based on her past actions, but it's never impossible. Whether or not Ally chooses to grow from her past ultimately depends on her willingness to see the harm she's caused and commit to something different. Anyway, the insane mind of Ally Lotti. Any thoughts on this conversation? If you made it this far, drop a like, because why not? And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm definitely curious to hear what you think about this topic regarding Ally Lotti and Juice WRLD. Rest in peace to Juice WRLD like always. I'll catch you guys in the comment section, but most importantly of all, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. I'm out.